CastleVania is one of the most iconic series in gaming history. It captivated me at a young age with Castlevania Adventure on Game Boy. I loved everything to the music, to the gameplay, to the creepy atmosphere. I love its portrayal of Dracula and the vampire lore along with it. So, being a young aspiring filmmaker, my production studio wanted to make a film based off of that series. We had already done 2 short Metal Gear fan films, so we decided to take on Castlevania as well. So it was that fall in 2004 we made Castlevania Sonata of the Dark Moon. It was the length of a half-hour TV show. We wanted it to fit into the timeline of the games, so it was set in the year we filmed it, 2004. And it was after the events that happened in 1999, which is when Dracula was sealed away forever in an eclipse. But we wanted to have Dracula in it, so we made the excuse the devil granted Dracula the ability to come back to take over the world. We cast my friend Noah and my brother Christian as the younger sibling of Julius Belmont, Eric. Because Noah had work and other things going on, we made the excuse that Christian was Eric in his normal form, and Noah was when he was calling on the power of his ancestors, making him larger and more powerful, due to his experience. It was like a Super Saiyan Eric Belmont. I was Alucard and Dracula. Luke doubled as Death and a vampire. We basically all doubled roles. So we made the film and showed it to our families. We ended the film with a cliffhanger where Death, who was possessing a vampire, captured Alucard and sent him to the demon realm. And that is where the next film would take off from. It was my senior year in high school. I was about to graduate. I worked part-time at Target, and in my spare time, I wrote a script for Castlevania, The Forgotten Son of Dracula. It was a sequel set in a time paradox. Dracula came back decades after the last film and enslaved the world for 200 years. I came back as Alucard. This time I grew my hair out a bit. My brother was Eric Belmont again. But this time, we had more people helping us. I had recruited some friends from school at the time, Kyle, and a couple others. Kyle was into acting, so he played Dracula, and his friends Brett and the other, whose name escapes me, played the roles of Draken and Death respectively. We began filming in May 2006. Things were going great, but that did not last long. Soon we got to graduation, and Kyle and his friends decided it was taking too much of their time and decided to quit. My guess is that he wanted to spend time hanging out with everyone he had been friends with in high school, so I can understand. But we had filmed so much, and not enough to edit it. And Kyle had the camera and all of our film. It took me a long time to get it back. He couldn't burn it onto a DVD for some reason, so he put it on a VHS tape. That was a pain to get off of the VHS in itself, but I was able to do it. In the end, I was devastated. I wanted to make this film more than anything at the time, but it wasn't going to happen. I lost my crew and my actors, and I had no camera to film on, since we were using Kyle's camera. About a month went by, I did some rewrites, and suddenly some of my old friends, one of them being Luke, who played Death in the previous film, said he would join us again. Also, my friend Mark offered to play Dracula. He had not done a film before to my knowledge, but we had our crew and actors again. My friend from school, Brooke, let us borrow her camera to film the rest of the movie. After a couple of weeks, at the end of July and the beginning of August, we finally finished filming the movie. We had to redo a lot of scenes for continuity's sake and recast Draken with my brother Jeffrey, since the fight scene that we filmed with him had no audio when I tried to edit it. But recently I found out, when I was putting this all together, that the audio is actually still there. You can check it out if you'd like. I'll put it right here.
But my powers can outdo your sword powers any day.
Action.
But my powers can outdo your sword skills any day. Ow.
Action. Action. Action.
I edited it and released on Halloween of 2006, 20 years since CastleVania first came out. By releasing, I meant I burned it on a DVD and showed it to my family and friends. It wasn't until years later that I released it online. It's been 10 years since I made it, and it took a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears to pull off what we have. Today, I find myself laughing a lot at the insanity that's in it. The plot is confusing, there's way too much exposition trying to explain everything. It's the only film that I've made that is nearly feature length, coming in at about around an hour and 6 minutes. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the story and how we made the film. I am proud of it, even if by my current standards it's total garbage. I would like to do a director's commentary with my brothers and friends someday, where we can go more in depth about it, laugh at it too, tell funny stories, that kind of stuff. It was the film I wanted to make, and we at LB Films did it. So check it out, and thanks for watching, and happy Halloween. Alright, we're back with more The Stupid Evil with Stupid Within. Oh, there's the guys over here I gotta snipe because they're a bunch of douchebags.